Okay, so in the last part of the video, we created our database and set up our login uh, form, and then we log in, but nothing happens because we haven't really done any scripting yet. So now that we have our database set up, we need to add some dummy records. So you're going to come to the Insert tab, and we're going to fill in or create a false user. So in our ID, you just want to leave that blank because we set it to auto increment, so it'll automatically go up 1 every time someone registers. So our username, we'll just set to basic Nick. Our password, we'll just set to password. And for right now, we're not going to have MD5 encryption, but we'll come back in and do that. Email is basic.nick@gmail.com. And if you have any questions or anything, and for whatever reason I'm not responding to my messages on YouTube, you can just drop me an email. Date of birth, it's not necessarily required, so I'm just going to leave that out. Full name, I'm just going to put Nick, and I'm hit go. Let's come in here, one row inserted, and we'll go to browse. Now in here we have our data in, so we have our first user. So now what we need to do is in our scripting page, our login page, we need to connect to our database. And now we're going to connect to our database in a new file because it's just practicing good programming habits. Our connecting, we're just going to call it connect.php. So, our connect code, I guess. So we're just going to create a variable, and you want to set it equal to MySQL underscore connect, and then parentheses. Probably can't see that. So, in the parentheses, the first one, in the parentheses, you want to add some double quotes, and we're going to have 3 double quotes sets. Our first one is going to be localhost, which is the host you're running on. So, say using GoDaddy, you would change that to your GoDaddy host information, which if you're running on a paid host, that'll be provided for you. The next one is going to be your username. So mine is root, and the password is just password. Now, obviously, you should not have password as your password for things. It's so easy to guess because several people do, and it's just not good. So then we want to have MySQL underscore select underscore DB, and in parentheses we're going to have our database name, which is tutorials. So we have tutorials. So you can go ahead and close this page. There we go. You can go ahead and close this page. I'm just going to leave it open for now. And now in our login page, you're just going to put include. We're going to be using the include function. And in here, in quotes, in your parentheses, you just want to put connect.php. And now, if you're using, if you named yours a different name, you would obviously put that name and put that. Alright, so we've connected to our database, and I'm going to come in here, I'm going to refresh just to make sure we have no problems, and we get nothing, which signifies we have no problems. So, now what we need to do is we need to check to see that the username and password provided, to see if the username is found in the database. So, which actually, my mistake, we need to make sure that the username and password have been actually provided. So we're going to say if $username, and then you want to put 2 and signs, $password, or whatever your variable names are, and then So if we have both of them, I'm going to come down here and we'll just put some comments in here. We'll just say info is provided, and then we'll put an else, which you're not really going to need brackets here because we're just going to have a simple echo. And our echo will be, how about you did not provide the proper info needed for login. And then we'll just say that, and we'll just include our index.php using the same include we used above, except we're going to change connect. We're going to change that to index. So if we refresh and resend, we have no errors. But if we come back to our index page, and if we leave both of these blank and click login, said you do not provide the proper info needed for login. And if we have one blank, same thing and same thing. So now, so if the username and password have been provided accordingly, now is when we're gonna connect to now is when we're gonna select our info from our database. So we're gonna set up a variable, and we're gonna call it query get, and we'll set it equal to, that's right, MySQL underscore fetch ASOC. That's fetch underscore ASSOC, and then parentheses and a colon. Oh, whoops, my bad. That should be MySQL query. And our query will be in double quotes, a pair of double quotes, and it's going to be select, and select will be in all caps, asterisk, which is select all, and then from in all caps, and then our database table, which if we go back is users, so we're going to change that to users. So we're going to select all from users, and time's running out here, so I'm going to stop it here and check out the next part of the video.